while she recovered from her personal trauma. Chief Lawson encouraged her to channel her anger and determination into building stronger protections for their company and their family. Claire's first major initiative as an emerging leader within Lawson Industries was to implement comprehensive background screening procedures for all employees, particularly those in positions that involve access to sensitive financial or personal information. Her experience with Derek had shown her how easily skilled criminals could infiltrate legitimate businesses by using fake credentials and manipulating hiring processes. The security measures that Claire developed went far beyond simple background checks, incorporating psychological evaluations, ongoing monitoring of employee behavior, and regular audits of access to company systems and information. While some employees initially resented the increased scrutiny, the revelation of how close Derek had come to stealing millions of dollars from the company made most people understand the necessity of stronger security protocols. Claire also worked with law enforcement agencies to develop educational programs that would help other businesses and wealthy families recognize the tactics used by sophisticated con artists like Derek. Her willingness to share the details of her own experience, despite the personal embarrassment involved, helped create awareness that prevented other potential victims from falling into similar traps. The recovery of money that Derek had stolen from his previous victims became a priority for Claire, who used her family's resources and connections to trace funds that had been hidden in offshore accounts and shell companies. While not all of Derek's victims were able to recover their full losses, Claire's efforts resulted in the return of millions of dollars to families and individuals who had been devastated by Derek's crimes. But Claire's most important healing came through her gradual re-engagement with genuine relationships and authentic connections. The experience with Derek had made her suspicious of anyone who showed romantic interest in her, knowing that her wealth would always make her a potential target for people with ulterior motives. However, Dupe and Chief Lawson helped Claire understand that Derek's deception didn't invalidate the possibility of finding real love in the future. Claire's return to active leadership within Lawson Industries marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one where she combined the business acumen she'd inherited from her father with the hard-won wisdom that came from surviving Derek's betrayal. Her colleagues, who had known her as a humble intern, were impressed by her transformation into a confident, decisive leader who understood both the operational details of their business and the broader strategic challenges they faced. The trial of Derek and his criminal associates became a major news event in Nigeria, with Claire testifying publicly about the deception she'd endured and the methods Derek had used to manipulate her emotions and gain access to her family's wealth. Her testimony was clear, detailed, and devastating, leaving no doubt about Derek's guilt and the premeditated nature of his crimes. Derek's conviction on multiple counts of fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy resulted in a lengthy prison sentence that ensured he would be unable to victimize anyone else for many years. The judge specifically noted that Derek's abuse of trust within a marriage made his crimes particularly heinous, and that the sophisticated nature of his criminal network warranted the maximum penalties allowed by law. Funmi and the other members of Derek's criminal network also received significant prison sentences, with the entire organization being dismantled and their assets seized to compensate victims. The success of the prosecution sent a strong message to other potential criminals that targeting wealthy Nigerian families would result in serious consequences. As Claire settled into her new role as a public figure and business leader, she found that her experience with Derek had given her unique insights into human motivation and the importance of surrounding herself with people whose loyalty was based on genuine affection rather than personal gain. The painful lesson of learning to distinguish between authentic relationships and manipulative performances would serve her well in both her personal and professional life. The story of Claire's triumph over Derek's deception became an inspiration to other women who had experienced betrayal and manipulation in their own relationships. Claire received hundreds of letters from women who had recognized similar warning signs in their own partners and had taken action to protect themselves before suffering the kind of devastation that Derek had attempted to inflict on Claire. 3 years after Derek's arrest, Claire had fully assumed her role as CEO of Lawson Industries, leading the company to new levels of success while implementing the security and ethical standards that her experience had taught her were essential for protecting both the business and the people who worked there. Her transformation from naive intern to powerful business leader was complete, but the lessons she'd learned about trust, deception, and the importance of authentic relationships continued to guide her decisions. Claire's story proves that even the most sophisticated criminals can be defeated by victims who refuse to remain helpless, that wealth and power are meaningless without the wisdom to use them effectively, and that surviving betrayal can make someone stronger and more capable than they ever imagined possible. The woman who had once been fooled by Derek's charm had become someone who could see through deception and fight back against anyone who tried to exploit her or the people she cared about. Derek remained in prison, his dreams of easy wealth replaced by the harsh reality of the consequences that come from underestimating the intelligence and resources of the people you try to victimize. His story serves as a warning to other potential criminals that some targets fight back, and that the price of failure can be far higher than the rewards of success. Watch the next video to see how another betrayed woman got her revenge.